He addresses Margaret's point.
The odds of making a mistake with my reflexes dulled is far lower than the odds of something going wrong with one person holding up another who can't even stand on their own.
You got a point.
If the bridges start to sink, if we're attacked, if one simply misplaces their footing and slips, both people will likely go down together and never get back up.
You're right.
And as I've stated, we've lost a great deal of time. No one could carry my weight without being slowed down. Now we must begin the journey again if we wish to reach the other side.
Okay. He states this firmly before turning his back to the group and walking away. Margret purses her lips tightly and looks at the guide's retreating form rather unpleasantly. Still, she makes no further attempt to argue. It's already been decided. We can do nothing but follow. It's alright, baby girl. Alright. I can still see him limping. I cannot deny that is worrying. He's already taken half of the medicine. Would taking enough to properly properly walk would be so much of a risk. I begin to follow after the guide, and the two with me follow behind, making sure to stay within the safe harbor of my light. Once I'm near them, I notice he isn't becoming more stable in gait. I ponder over whether I should mention my thoughts to him or not. I must say nothing, because I feel like he knows what he's doing. Now, I shouldn't save, because I just fucking hit that. I wanted to save before that. So now we know that there is a different choice here. I don't think we had that choice last time. This time we do, though. The option of just telling him to take more. I bite my tongue and let the thought go. Now is not the time to be making even more of a fuss. The guy knows how to manage these types of situations. Creating another discussion, well, yeah, exactly. I don't think we had that last time. We might have. Our group moves at a much brisker pace than the previous night. After the exchange that just took place, the mood has sunk low into the murky pool. Not a word is exchanged between us. The only sounds that accompany us are the whispers of the demons in the lake pounding at our feet, hitting the wood. Alright. Here is the strange bridge that will decide if someone dies. Last time, at least. Okay, alright. Let's see if it's the same way. Guard marches forward with no hesitation while the rest of us awkwardly halt in front of the unknown path. He calmly walks in the center of the boards. Halfway there, he begins to wobble. I suck in a breath as I can only watch. To my relief, the guide is able to steady himself and make it all the way across without another hitch. Now it is our turn. Only with a single lantern shared between us, we have to be mindful of how to cross without leaving anyone in the darkness. Now, the only thing I can hope is that because it's Lou instead of a Millie, that we're gonna be able to fucking balance somehow. Us as people. If it does come down to it, I guess we'll see both deaths. But I'm probably gonna save Lou this time, just to see the difference in between the end story. And then I'm gonna go back and try to see the differences in between like the small shits. Singularity, okay.
I will stay in the middle. One of you will lead while the other goes behind.
Is that what we did last time? I don't remember if Kika was in the middle or not. I think she was, yeah. Yeah, she was. I ponder over what positions to take. The person in front could potentially stall the others or bump into us, so it seems important to send someone capable of crossing without stopping. Lou, yet it may also be better to send someone who could possibly be left behind first to ensure that doesn't happen. I look over to my companions who also seem pensive over this. Oh, okay. Now, so I gotta feel it. Are they gonna decide for themselves, or is this gonna be up to me? Watch it be like this specific order will get them killed. I hope dearly to myself that we're exaggerating how dangerous crossing this thin bridge will be.
If no one has an opinion on the matter, I would like to go last. It would be easier for me to match someone else's steps than to walk without a lead.
I love her accent, by the way. Okay. Lou surveys the bridge nervously as he rings his hands together.
I think I could go first.
You got it, boy. I believe in you. Margaret gives him a weak smile of appreciation. With the order decided, we carefully start to make our way across. First, Lieutenant Lee steps into the narrow bridge. A few seconds later, I follow after him. And after a pause behind me, Margaret also starts going across. As we inch our way across, something strange starts to happen. I notice the bridge is starting to bend to the right. I suddenly realize that the weight of all of us is stressing the support beams. The others have noticed as well. Sounds of alarm is sound from both in front of me and around me. I speak in a hushed whisper, trying to remain calm.
Focus on keeping ourselves centered. We can't let the bridge tilt.
I think over our predicament. I can't leave Margaret behind. There's nowhere for her to go with no other light source nearby. Luke, okay. And This is where I tried. This is where you decide if Millie does or not. So, if you say no here on the other one, this is if you send Lou might die. Give me a sec. Last time with Bamilli, if we sent Bamilli died, and if we didn't what was it? If we didn't stay back with, if we didn't have Bamilli stay back, Margret died. So we're in a predicament here. This is how they died last time. I'm hoping that somehow or another this gets past the situation, but we don't know. So let's see here. I'm gonna send Lou and hope if he dies, I'm gonna be sort of pissed, and then we're gonna load up and do it again. All right. I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna make sure this is the right save right here. It is. Okay. With him safe on the other side, we will have an easier time. Yeah. I can't be sure if it's worth the risk, though. These concerns may be a knee-jerk reaction to seeing a sign of danger. If all of us go slowly, it's possible we could still cross together. I'm gonna try Lou. If Lou dies, I'm going to be pissed, and then we're going back. I hastily share my thoughts on the matter with the other two. Lou's not gonna want to do it. He looks down at the path ahead of him. I can't see his expression. Margaret keeps quiet and silently agreeing towards the plan. Without any further conversation, Lou begins to carefully make his way down. It mostly stays in one place. The bridge slightly creaks from side to side. Luckily, it is a non-extreme until Lou successfully reaches the edge of my light. For a moment, he stares down at the path of darkness. Lou manages to inch closer to the other side. However, his frantic pace causes him to misstep. He gasps as the upper section of the bridge lurches to the side. I want just would help him. However, I'm hit with the painful reality that the only way to do so is by remaining still. Any step I take forward towards him will only shake the bridge further. I have no choice but to simply watch what unfolds. He loses his footing. Okay. So, he falls. You know, that's actually entirely different than Bamilli. Bamilli got grabbed. He fell. Interesting. Say nothing.
I want to stay here. What if it breaks?
Yes, we need to move forward. If someone notices the bridge bending at all, they need
Now,
to slow and tell the rest of us.
this'll kill Margret, and I'm gonna be very sad, but I'm gonna finish it at least. Both of them nod, and we do so, beginning our way forward. I focus about that, or hopefully, somehow we both make it. The spider breath said, yep, nope.
Stop! We need to rebalance.
And here it is, the music picked up, so Margaret's falling. All of us moving our positions, it was, okay, and it was, yup.
Margret!
I shout desperately, but my voice can't help. She struggles just below the surface of the thick water until the monsters makes ways to her. She never resurfaces. There's not so much of a bubble coming up from the lake. Last time I did it with Margret. This time we got to do it with Lou. Another time I'll do it with Bamilli. And like I said, then we're gonna try to do more and more people. So after this, I'm gonna do Bamilli obviously on the next go through of everything. I'm gonna work with what I got first. And then after that, move on to a whole nother thing. The bridge slowly creaks back into place, sloshing as it settles into its original position, all as if nothing happened. An eerie stillness overtakes the area as I stare, mouth trembling at the place my companion was lost. I'm overwhelmed with feelings. My eyes fill to the brim with tears. Why? Why did this have to happen? It did have to happen. I completely understand that because I love that girl. I actually don't like this is hurting me. Like, this is like watching Angel Beats and like the end of the show. Like, it's so sad. I get Angel Beats flashbacks. I get a Kami got killed flashbacks. Like, it's so sad. I genuinely care for this girl though. Before I have time to agree, the guide's voice rings out on a wind from across the bridge.
You cannot stay there. You must keep going.
Okay. I count my breaths as an attempt to calm myself. As long as I stand here, Lou can't move.
To start walking again.
I will too.
Okay, Lou. Lou speaks what's very softly for Lou? Lou's a soft-spoken person. Now with only 2 sets of feet instead of 3, it is not difficult a journey to make. The mere idea of one of us being missing pains me to my core. Now here's the problem I got. Unless there's somehow a way for us to get to the point where the guide... Ooh. Maybe if we were to go talk to the guide instead of either one of them two, maybe we then have a slight chance, of him actually, letting someone walk with him. Eventually, we make it to the other side of the narrow bridge, and then the remaining three of us stand there. Okay. I place my hand. Okay. Same words.
Forget what you saw. As of right now, nothing matters except for the fact that we have yet to reach the shore. Morning will arrive soon. We must continue.
Alright. I can understand the words. I need to keep myself together until I reach shore, and yet it seems impossible to actually do. Everyone is being lost one by one. I can't take it. The guy taps the base of his staff to the boards, not allowing me to become lost in my sorrow. Lou shuffles towards the guys, but he doesn't make it very far before he runs out of the light from my lantern to remain in. I manage to make myself take a step forward. My stomach twists as we simply have to move past the death of another person for the second time. It's so cruel. Margret was so bright, so thoughtful. Even with her teasing remarks, she had so much to offer and was all lost in a moment. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. After hours of navigating the wet bridges, okay. That's them seeing the shore. Now, this is where you can get screwed over by the guide. Now, let's see if he's gonna screw us over, because if so, then none of this fucking matters anyways. The darkness around us begins to a seed of worry sprouts inside me. Will we make it? The guide ahead seems to have no signs of concern on his face. I hold it to the hope that we will be able to make it through. ... Well, we near the very end of the bridges. I can smell the trees in the earth. Even through the fog, I can almost count the remaining bridges between us and the land. But between the end of us, a prowler appears. Lou doesn't seem surprised, as though he had expected not to make it without further issue, or even at all. I that monster intently. It makes no move to leave us, so I turn to the guide instead.
Take my lantern. Once it's scared off, we'll make our way to the shore. It shouldn't be an issue with it so close by.
The guide says nothing, however, he extends his hand to accept my offer. I feel my body tense for a moment before relinquishing my light to the guide. It's not much further. I'm sure we can make it. The guide slowly steps ahead. He and the creature brace for a confrontation. Now the problem here is, if the guide's too fucked up, like he's on fucking Hennessy to pull us off. If he misses, so much as misses the right spot or the right situation, we all die. So I don't like this idea, but alright. Lou and I stay close enough to the guide's back to keep from being left behind in the darkness.
Be ready to run. Don't get left behind.
Okay, I just use long as we go the right way. Then he darts forward and launches the light directly at the prowler. He makes a snarly hiss as it retreats, defeated back to the black waters. None of us waste even a second. Look back, we push forward. I race across the bridge, desperately trying to reach the guide, trying to keep the guide's light, edge, figure, and clear light. I run as fast as I can, possibly managing without sleeping on the boards. We run across the entire way, spurring on the shoreline and rapidly approaching. Miraculously, I feel my feet plunge into dirt. Stumble forwards, nearly collapsing onto the ground while trying to catch my breath. It feels as though I've come out of a long dream. We made it. Also, I think there's one achievement for the game of where only she makes it across too, by the way. And that one I sort of want to see. I got an idea how the guy does. It's gonna be him and his medicine. Lou stares hard at the dirt beneath him. I cannot place what it is that he might be feeling, though I barely know how I feel right now. I rest there quietly for a few moments, taking time to allow my breathing and emotions to settle down. Finally, I look up from my lap and see Lou standing away from me. His gaze is empty as he stares out into the thick fog, revealing the lake veiling. As though he realized I was staring, Lou suddenly twists his view back. We look at one another for a time. I can only guess what he may be thinking. No words need to be exchanged between us. I'm glad for it, because I'm not sure I would be able to speak even if I needed to. The sound of sloshing and wood lurching captures our attention as the bridge begins to sink. In a few minutes, only the lonely dock is left. With that, the guide walks towards me.
It is time to leave this place. There is nothing left for you here.
Upon being addressed by him, I rise to my feet. He has a calm look on his face, though there is force behind his sincerity. I open my mouth in an attempt to speak, however, I quickly realize I have little idea of what to say. Do I thank him for this? Should I give him my trust? Was our survival because of him or despite him? Even now, I cannot know for certain. And then the fog is removed from my thoughts. After everything that has happened, it becomes clear I harden my face to match his serious disposition, and there's something he is certainly right of. This lake isn't a place to linger. Going round and round in circles will never help. We cannot submit our lives or our minds to Sonolis. For better or for ill will, there is only one person who can help those once there within its grasp, the guide. if he were removed from the place, wouldn't be no safe. It would no longer be no. It would be no safer. Yeah. What I must do if I truly want to defend others is keep them from coming here at all. When I return to my village, I intend to make that information acutely known to our elder. For that to happen, we must leave.
Goodbye.
His eyes narrow as he looks over me. I begin to feel uncomfortable under his scrutiny, but for a moment I could swear I noticed him smiling slightly. However, it could easily be the trick of the morning sun. I don't remember if he smiled last time or not. I look away to face Lou, not wanting to get caught up in this any longer. He catches my eyes on him and looks back. Lou opens his mouth, however, no words come out, so he closes it again. The two of us stare each other down awkwardly. Another brief moment, he gives me a shaky smile.
Goodbye. And, thank you.
He backs away from me slowly at first, studying my face deeply one last time before turning around completely and darting into the forest. I feel so caught off guard by the action that by the time I recover, he's already gone. I don't know if after the situation, so far everybody's like, okay, thank you, I'm still alive, and they go off with their life. I don't think so. Like, after this situation, I would probably be like, so like close to the person, it's not even funny. Just because I saved your life, you saved my life, and we went through this hell together, you know? We'd be some sort of friends in some form or way. I recognize that he probably needs some time alone to process what happened. As long as he doesn't go back out here. He's safe, he's alive, that is all that matters. Despite the firmness I so intently tried to have, my heart starts to waver, but Millie and Margret, they're both still here. I wish to give them a proper farewell. I want to do something. My eyes begin to water, and I almost turn around. No, it is done. I need to remember that. They would never want me to describe their lives to Sonolis. Nothing would disgrace their memory more. I'll keep them in my thoughts without allowing the lake to poison me. Now, I also know there are bonus scenes to this game. I haven't played them, but I remember I touched on them, I think a little bit, in my last finale video from when I did my first playthrough. When my steadfastness truly regained, I marched to the light with no hesitation. Now, I also might play that on the channel. With a solemn heart, I at last arrived at Himmer. They were grateful to see me, for it was a desperate situation indeed. The urgency meant that my mind was occupied with other matters. I worked tirelessly to aid Himmer's own guards in forcing back the brigaders. But during the moments of calm and when the sun went down, I would remember the lake. This is Bemeli. The villagers were alarmed when I arrived on my own, but it did not take them long to guess what it might happen. To Bemeli, having to recount the terrible story was almost more than I could endure. Jesus Christ, that's a bright-ass screen. Yet I know that it will be even worse when I must tell my fellow guards back home. They deserve to hear the truth from me, regardless of how I feel. Yes, sure. When receiving payments for his services, the guide must give a report of all those who both succeeded and failed to cross the lake. Margret. The name and fate of Margret soon became known in Himmer. I added that she was an intelligent, thoughtful person and urged them to show respect for her passing. I hope that one day I will have the opportunity to go to her hometown and give my own proper respects. Alright, now on to Lou. Lou never reappeared after walking away that morning. I do not know where he has gone, but wherever he went, I pray that he will live a safe and wonderful life. Perhaps someday we will meet once more. And then the guide. I have not heard nor seen the guide since then. He will remain obscured in that realm of fog and fear, mysterious light off in the distance that is ever out of reach of the real world. I worry about when I must return home to my usual life. It will be difficult to continue as things were before. One thing I know for certain is that my village elder must be told that no one is across Sonolis again. I have already told the Himmer leaders the same. Not a single more person should have to experience what we did. Its darkness will remain for me for the rest of my days. Though so much was lost, I try to believe that our lessons will keep others from suffering the same way, and in the end, something will be gained. Lake of Voices. Alright. So, I think it's here. One of these two. I think it's here.
I will stay in the middle.
No.
One of you will lead while the...
It's here. This is about the guide taking...
One of us could help.
So we're gonna skip ahead.
The odds of making if the bridges stand as...
So, skip ahead. Margret sighs in annoyance but concedes to my suggestion.
He might as well. Since he needs to stand on his own 2 feet, we have to make certain he won't suddenly keel over.
If this kills us all, I'm pissed at the guide. The guide stops in front of us. The view is obscured from my vantage point, but I realize that he puts his hand in his pocket, pulls out the vial, he brings it to his lips, and swallows the rest of what's inside. He then calmly tucks the empty bottle inside of his cloak. Without another word, he continues on his path. It is unusual for him to take suggestions so easily. The pain must have truly been a hindrance. Now, I watched the guy from behind and noticed that slowly but surely his steps are improving, his limp becoming less and less noticeable. Feel a small wave of relief wash over me. Now, I feel like he goes decent here, and even if we don't, we manage somehow to go by the bridge where we pick in between these two, I feel like now one of them dies. I mean, we all die. Our group moves to a much brisker pace than the previous night, so this is the same stuff. We end up here again.
I will stay in the middle.
Same situation.
If no one has an opinion...
I think I...
Last time we saved Lou.
We need to focus on keeping our...
This is gonna probably save him. Yep.
Lou!
Try to speak, but my voice can't help. Lou never resurfaces. That's so much of a bubble from the lake. Alright. Now we're gonna see. We're gonna see if we still make it to the shore. If we don't,
Forget what you saw.
then it's obviously that just makes it so the guide brings us the wrong fucking direction. Yup. So that's where the guide brings us to the wrong direction. Okay. So no matter what, if we follow that and we make him let him take a full dose, we go the wrong way. Okay.
I don't want to stay here. What if it breaks?
Yes.
Oh, go back. Like I said, we're gonna lose Lou. We're not gonna lose Lou. Yeah, we're gonna lose Lou. Sadly, I don't want to. But we're gonna go ahead and get the Margret part of this. See if the Lou's story at the end here is now different. It should be.
Here.
Be ready to run.
And we're also gonna see if the Margret's different. Here. Finally look up to see Margret standing ahead of me, her face is buried in her hands. However, it's out of disbelief rather than sorrow. It's been countless times in the past 2 days. She lifts her head out of her hands, and the both of us make eye contact. No words are needed to exchange between us to know what the other is thinking. I'm glad for it because I'm not sure I would be able to speak even if I needed to. Same thing as last time, but different, emotions are in the air. The sound of sloshing of wood, okay.
It is time to leave this.
Goodbye.
Okay, so he does the smile no matter what. Smiling slightly, however, it could be trickling morning sun.
Margret.
What did she say? If you're standing by the shore, perhaps I could be positioned something out. Well, that's way back then. Margret, will you be coming? Margaret's gaze goes past the guy to me. She fixated on the lake. I feel hopelessness emanating from her. She lost something important from her. From the inside of her in that lake, something she will never get back. I empathize greatly with her, knowing that the feeling is one we will never escape from, even after the lake is far behind us. Margaret seems to shake the feeling off and turns towards me. The smallest of smiles graces her lips as she nods.
I'm coming.
Margaret's vigor returns to her at the end of the sentence. She speaks with a little bit of confidence she had at the beginning of the journey. She gives one last look to our lead. Her gaze is harsh and scrutinizing. I'm not entirely sure what she's trying to convey with the look, but that isn't for me to know. Margret definitely turns. She then walks towards the forest. I can't help but wonder what will become of her now. Perhaps she will tell me someday. And then we have sadness. Alright, with a solemn heart at least. Okay. That's the same. Same thing. Margret and I parted ways before arriving at Humor. She did not say where she would be going or what she would be doing. She did, however, put a smile on as she departed, which I felt was more for my sake of their own, which is the same thing she did last time. I hope she is well, or wherever she is, and I would like to think that somehow we may see each other once more or another day. When receiving payments for services, the guide must give a report for all of those who... Alright. His retelling of events had little to say of Lou. I know that is because he was not meant to be there and was never one to open up, but it still saddens me to face how I never truly got to know who he was. I can only pray that those who cared for him will learn the truth of what happened. Okay, same thing. Boom. Alright, we're gonna stop it there, because the other endings are gonna be harder to get. Wait. There's one that'll be really easy. The question is where it is.
Staying in the
I
center
don't
of
think
the
I got to
island,
save
remaining
for it.
here, I will. If the prowlers come.
Watch. Here. If I don't tell her anything. Margret yelps, the flames leap in the wind and singed her fingers. On instinct, she let go of the source of the land.
I am.
Margret answers me, frustrated apparent. The fire rapidly eats away at the branch on the ground until there isn't enough safe wood left to pick up again. She stares down at the loss, makes her torch. It is the same look as when she lost her lantern. I heard in my
I'll
face.
have to go on my own and ward them off. Once they move away, the two of you should follow behind me.
Ooh. Both of my companions look at me filled with concern. I shake my head at them.
There's too much risk for you to come with me. I'm going now.
I turn on my heels towards the Nixie. There's even more of them now. They drag themselves pitifully along the ground, reaching out their hands in our direction like beggars. Unfortunately, nothing can be done to help these creatures. As I approach, they curl their bodies from the light of my lantern. None of them move to retreat, however. Eyeing them waringly, I quickly jump forwards in the hope of starting them. A few hiss and flail, pulling themselves into the water. One responds a different way. It returns the aggression by lashing out and knocks my light free. The lantern falls to the ground and blinks out. I gasp. Before I can turn around, one of them pounces on my back, forcing me to the sand as well. I frankly call out to the others.
Get to the bridges!
That's a respectful call. You're like, just leave me, go. Many more pile on. I dig my fingers in to lose grenades. It puts up no resistance as they begin to drag me closer to the shore. They're shouting, but I'm not able to make out what the words are. As I feel the thick water begin to lap against my legs, I know in my soul that I will never escape. This is the end. Like voices. That's actually a good ending in some ways, because I think, they'll make it. So we know they survived that time. There we go. I think that's all the endings we can do right now. The other ones would require Bemele or going back to certain locations. Now, I sort of really want to reach out and figure out if there is a way for me to get all four of them to survive. Bemele, Lou, and Margret. And of course Kika and the guide, so 5 in total. I don't think it is. Now that I've seen what Lou's sort of story is like when you have Lou, because Lou offers to leave multiple times, and the only time we actually have a choice with Bemele and Margret's right after that, and then it's one of them dies, and then later on you end up with the one of them dies choice again. So I don't think there's a way, sadly, even though I want there to be. So I can't exactly say much. Now I do know the bonus. There are 3 bonus sections total, 1 that does not include story spoilers and 2 that do. The first event is unlocked by getting any ending where Kika crosses to Nolus and reaches the other side alive. The other events are unlocked by getting specific endings. Right now you have only 1 event unlocked. We hope you enjoy. Magical Night, return to main menu. So I have 1 of them by her just crossing. The other 2 are special events. So I would guess 1 probably is by dying on the bridge. Probably the dead end, maybe. Another one is definitely probably going to be, because I didn't let it end on the dead end. That's probably where you get it. And then another one's definitely going to be, well, we just survived with both of them, huh? Maybe passing it with Bemele. I don't know. We're going to end it off here, though, for this first time around. We're going to come back and do a lot of the deaths and scenes and stuff like that, and then maybe we'll come back and do the bonuses, on stream or on video as well. I have no idea. Other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Now, this is actually a lot longer, so you guys have seen it in parts, because I try not to overwhelm with content. Even though I said, like, with my Let's Plays I was going to make them longer, I've been making them reasonably long. The only ones I'm going to push out in, like, bulk quality are going to be, like, the ones on, like, Xbox for, like, Dead Space, Outlast, Darksiders, Ninja Gaiden, things like that, because they're big games and they have a lot of gameplay. Don't get me wrong, some of the visual novels are long as shit, but at the same time, I think I enjoy putting them in small increments so, you know, we all feel the story. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, click that like button. If you guys are new to the channel, click that subscribe button to meet me in another of my videos. If you guys wish to be notified when I upload, click that notification bell so you guys will be notified in your email and on YouTube when I upload. And that, hopefully you all have a great day, and I will catch you homies next LowTide.